let's get right into it. So Josh and Cheryl are meeting with Josh's mom to try to convince her to allow Cheryl to stay there with Josh, because Josh now has an ankle monitor that he didn't think that he was going to have. So he's essentially on house arrest at his mama's place, right? Cheryl is not okay with that because she thought that he was going to stay at her Motel 6 with her for 3 months while she abandoned her kids to be with her felon boyfriend. Let's talk about it. Let's tell the truth and shame the devil. This is what Cheryl is doing, right? So we find out in this episode why Josh's mom don't like Cheryl. Now I'm going to be honest with you guys. When Cheryl sat down, she was already dragging her in her confessional before Josh's mother walked in. So I'm over here watching this because we have to be real here. We have not seen Josh's mother mistreat Cheryl. We've only heard Cheryl say really mean things about Josh's mother in her confessional and to Josh about his mother, and he still let that slide, right? Homegirl walks in. Cheryl is dragging her in her confessional. And then in this scene, she's sitting here like, don't even say hi to the mom. Don't even acknowledge her, right? So the mom sits down. I'm at this point on Josh's mother's side, right? But then we find out why Cheryl and Josh's mama got beef. Now, apparently, I don't know if her current husband is like a drunk or something and they don't like him drinking, but apparently they were all hanging out. This is the thing. I'm confused. Did Cheryl meet Josh before he went to prison? Because Cheryl was talking about how they're all hanging out. Josh's father-in-law asked her to get him a beer, or like pulls her aside and asks her to get him a beer, and she goes to get him a beer. Josh's mother then interprets that as Cheryl trying to take her man. Now, I am not one to judge, but from looking at Josh's mama, from looking at Josh, damn, even Cheryl, from looking at these people, I kind of have a clear idea of what her husband looks like. And I'm just like, ma'am, Cheryl was not trying to take your man. First of all, if he's like some drunk that y'all gotta hide beer from and you're upset that she went to get your man a beer, or you feel disrespected because she did something that you as a wife is supposed to be doing, like this whole ghetto drama. I was like, I thought this lady was mad at Cheryl because she disrespected her, to find out that she's mad at Cheryl because she got her husband a beer. Ghetto. Love at the Lockup Ghetto Edition. That's what this show needs to be called, because I can't. I said, this is why y'all beefing? None of it has to do with Josh. So this lady don't want Cheryl coming to her home because she thinks that Cheryl is trying to take her man to her trailer park, because we find out where she's living and she's living in a trailer. Cheryl, go back to Texas and get your kids. Like, girl, and what in the hell is up with Josh? Guys, can we be real? Something is not quite right. He's very boy-like. Very boy-like. He's talking to Cheryl or his mom. He's always like, yeah, okay. Like, really, golly, gee, I'm 6 years old. Something up. Something is up. And you know what? American justice system, you really need to stop locking up these adult men and women with child minds. Because we have seen far too many times with these people on Love at the Lockup that they are not right. These people should be in therapy or in some kind of institution, and y'all locking them up probably because they ain't got the money. This is what's happening, because we have seen it, guys. We have seen it on this show alone. So many prisoners who you're just like, you should not have been in prison. You have the mind of a toddler. Why are they locking you up? Welcome to America. So at this meeting, this lunch meeting, they're trying to convince the mom to let Cheryl stay there. And the mom was like, no, I'm not doing it. She's not going to steal my man from me. I'm not doing it. And so they are going back and forth. Both of them just being catty, making little comments. I do agree that Cheryl was trying because she really wanted to stay with Josh. And to that I say, we found out that he was living in a trailer. Cheryl, where were you going? Where were you going in this trailer? Because it didn't look that big. It's Josh, his mama, and her man. And guys, can we be real? They probably got a pet in that situation as well. Come on, where were you going to go? Anyway, the lady is not budging. They're just going back tit for tat, tit for tat, tit for tat. And then while this woman is eating, she's just eating. So you just left your kids? I was like, oh, it's getting spicy. She was just like, so you just up and left your kids for 3 months? Like, who's taking care of your kids? Who's watching them? Listen, I was watching this like, you know what, mama? I know you being petty, but I agree. Like, ask these questions. You trying to say with my son, who's a felon, that something is clearly wrong with him. You have left your 3 kids for 3 or so months, however long you want to stay up here to see how it works. And I don't trust you. You trying to come in my home. Cheryl, you got too many red flags. Because you got to think about it. As a parent, as a mom, you're like, you up and left your 3 children to come see if a relationship with a dude that is a felon will work. I don't want you in my home. But that's me, a sensible person, right? This lady just don't want Cheryl in her home because she thinks she's going to take her man. That's what all this beef is about. None of it has to do with Josh, and all of it has to do with a drunken man who wants to steal beer. Vincent and Amber. Nothing much really happened with Vincent and Amber. We saw them go shopping, and Vincent put down $700 for a bed for Amber, but in a lot of their scenes, or at least the scenes in this episode, all of the scenes are Vincent trying to like quietly break into Amber's tough panties, but it's not happening because Amber's just not comfortable with him. She tried to make it seem like she just wanted to take her time because previously when she got out of prison, one of the many times that she got out of prison, she met a guy who was holding her down while she was in prison. When she got out of prison, she married the dude and it didn't work out. So she's saying that she wants to take her time with Vincent because she felt like she rushed into marriage with this man the first time. The first guy that she messed with and married, she felt like she rushed into that. So she doesn't want to do that with Vincent. I think that's the nice way of saying that she's just not interested in him. Instead of saying that, you know what I mean, she's just going to use this, oh, I moved too fast before, so I want to take my time. Nah, Amber, you're just not into him. And that's okay. But the problem is you're taking money from this dude. You know what I mean? Like, you tricked this dude when you was in prison. You're still tricking him now that you're free. And you don't know how to get out of this situation because this man is now starting to ask for sex and ask for you to start to do the things that you was writing him and telling him on the phone that you was going to do. Now that you're out, he's like, you got to pay to play, baby. He's putting down $700 for your bed. He's paying for you to eat, paying for you to get these clothes. He wants some coochie, and Amber not trying to give it. Sis, you got to let him go. You're not attracted to him. He weirds you out. Like, it's uncomfortable to watch you being with him because we see you being uncomfortable around him in your scenes, but you're still accepting gifts and just your livelihood from him. I get this how you get around. I get this how you was tricking in prison. But I'm telling you, just from looking at this dude and from the training that he has, Amber, Vincent is not the dude to trick. Vincent gives me mass shooter. I didn't want to say it. I did not want to say it, but I feel like this is not the type of guy that you can play with. I really, really do. He gives me like, you dump me, I'm shooting up a national monument and everybody gonna get it. So sis, leave this man alone. Leave it, trick somebody else, not him. You out here playing games with a Marine. Girl, play with a dude from the Coast Guard, not a Marine. Aundrea and Lamondre. So this is the first time that I actually saw Aundrea feel or like show some kind of affection towards Lamondre without it seeming produced or put on. Because normally, especially in her confessionals, Lamondre is so good to me. He give me all these clothes and accessories. I just love Lamondre, right? I had to do it. But like, it just seems like she's putting it on, right? This scene, I believed her. I absolutely believed her. So she's really excited, like a kid going to Disneyland, getting ready to go pick up Lamondre. Lamondre calls her and he's just like, well, I found out on Friday. It seems like it's like a couple days later, like Monday or so. And he's just like, I found out on Friday that I'm not getting out. Now, I knew that Lamondre wasn't getting out because I looked at his mugshot and it says that he's not getting out till 2026. So it seems like to me, from my experience, that Lamondre probably did have the release date that Aundrea was going by, but he probably done did something in prison, probably got somebody killed or was running some kind of ring, and they added on some more years to his sentence. So it seems to me that during that time, they found him guilty of something else and added on more time for him. Problem is, he knew on Friday, and the way he calls Aundrea, why didn't he call her as soon as it happened and tell her that, hey, I'm not getting out when I thought that I was getting out? So she's pissed off, rightfully so. But guys, not only is she pissed off, she has a whole breakdown. You could not fake this. Homegirl was crying her eyes out. So much as a producer. We have never seen producers. We have never seen production on this show. She was having such a meltdown that the producer went on camera and went into the bathroom to try to see if she was okay. And you can hear the audio of her just, just falling apart. And I was just like, Aundrea really loved this man. Yes, they are putting it on for TV, but she really does love this man. This was the first time that I really saw some real passion, some real feelings towards Lamondre from Aundrea. And I was like, wow. This woman is head over heels in love with this man who was in prison, who was a felon because he used to be a drug kingpin in Daytona. Is it Daytona? Is it Daytona? Because I was about to say Montego Bay. I don't know where the hell I got Montego Bay from, but it was supposedly a drug kingpin out there. Because some of y'all was like, he ain't really no drug kingpin. He a drug preschooler. Anyway, he loved being a drug kingpin so much that his hands, he processed so much coke, so much crack that his hands started to deteriorate. Who probably had years added on to his sentence because he either killed somebody or orchestrated a hit in prison or did some kind of drug ring in prison. Guys, for them to add more time to his sentence, they found out some mess that Lamondre did. This man is who Aundrea is falling apart about. This man who looks like he gargles with jewelry cleaner got this woman in her bathroom falling apart because she is not going to be able to see him today. Wow, ladies, the bar is in hell.
So now, let's talk about Lacey. Lizzie, John, and Shane.
I have been doing this impersonation all week. I cannot stand this woman. What I will say about Lacey is that she looks great without makeup from the nose up. These lips. Listen, I'm not judging anybody who has gotten work done. If you got it, get it, right? For the people who have gotten, what is this, fillers or lip injections? For the people who have received lip injections, is this supposed to look like purple and blue? Lacey's lips look bruised. I was just like, this is not healthy. But then again, I've never had, lip injections because who needs them? Not me. That's what I get. That's what I get for trying to be shady. I almost snapped. I was trying to snap my fingers. I almost broke my finger. Thank you, Lord, for checking me. That's what I get. Not everybody is blessed with these full, delicious lips. And here I am being shady. So thank you, Lord, for getting me together. Almost lost a finger being messy. But yeah, her lips just did not look healthy. But she really doesn't need to wear makeup. She need makeup on her lips, though, because those lips, just purple. And I was like, Lord. Shane still wanted them on his wheel. Shane was like, I've been in prison since I was a child. I want some. You know what, let's move on. Lacey takes Shane to lunch to meet with her best friend Miranda, who is going to grill Shane because she's so protective over her best friend. I'm just like, you grilling Shane about Lacey, but are you grilling Lacey, who is exploiting prisoners? Lacey is clearly taking advantage of these men. And then the little shady friend also know about John. So you're over here grilling Shane to make sure that he's good enough for Lacey, knowing that she's playing one dude that's still in prison while taking advantage of this young dude that just got out of prison, and you're looking at Shane like he's the problem? You're a terrible friend. A good friend would have been like, girl, you need help. Girl, you need help. Something is wrong with you. Why do you keep on exploiting prisoners? What about yourself do you feel like you're not good enough or you need to get men that need you. What's wrong with you? Why the hell are we out here at this diner meeting with this fella when you need to be at home with your kids? Miranda, you trash just like Lacey. Because the fact that Miranda was even nasty to poor sweet Shane, I can't believe that the most adorable and sweetest person on his show is Shane, who was in prison for it. The way Shane was explaining what he did, like malicious, not manslaughter, like malicious harm or something. Like he said that he was defending himself and he like maliciously harmed somebody, but it was like a good malicious. The way he was explaining it, I was like, Shane, this don't sound right. You've been in prison for 4 years over a good malicious wounding. That don't make no sense, because if you were defending yourself, why were you in prison for 4 years? Like, what really happened? Y'all always got the tea. What really happened with Shane? Because for him to say that I went to prison for malicious wounding, but it was a good malicious wounding because I was defending myself. Normally, if it's self-defense, you don't go to prison for 4 years. Something not adding up. But I'm still mad at Miranda. I'm still mad at Lacey. Because why are you acting like this dude is the problem? He ain't maliciously wound nobody at this diner. So what's the issue? Lacey is the issue. What kind of friend? Oh, hell no. Y'all just bum friends. I would never. My friend can't tell me, yo, girl, I'm over here playing 2 prisoners, and one of the prisoners that I'm about to play is a young dude who ain't got much sense. Come and see if he good enough for me. I will hang up my phone. And then I will call Child Protective Services. No, I would get the kids and I would have them come live with me until their mama got her life together. But still, like, what kind of friend will go along with this foolishness?
So that was it with Lacey. We're gonna move on now to Angela
and Tony. What the hell? Angela, first of all, guys, I wish y'all was here watching this with me, because I was like, what the hell is going on in this bridal shop? So Angela is shopping for wedding dresses. Like Tony didn't turn down her BJ for some hamburger helper. She's still shopping for wedding. You still going through with this? Let a man turn down a BJ from me for some hamburger helper. I'm not even returning his calls. Like, we're good, because you don't want me. You don't want me. If a meatloaf is better than a BJ from me, girl, wake up. You got your answer. You got your answer. She's shopping for wedding dresses with her sister and her really good friend, Brenda. What's going on with Brenda? Because I was looking at Miss Brenda and her reactions and the way she was talking about stuff. She gives me Paula Deen if she had a pill problem. Can you guys see it? Can you guys see it? Because I was like, Miss Brenda, something going on. Something going on with Miss Brenda.
Yeah. Wow. Oh my goodness. Angela.
I'm so sorry, Miss Brenda, but something was up. Something was up with her, guys. It was not just, I was not the only one that noticed that Miss Brenda was a little delayed. Y'all saw it too. So maybe it's the residue from meth. You know what? I'm from Philadelphia. I know a meth addict. I have to know a meth addict. You know what? I do know a meth addict, but we lost touch in high school. Yeah, because she got turned out after high school. But do I personally know? No, they on pills. You know what? No. So I know crack. You know what? Let me stop telling my business. So while Angela is trying on wedding dresses, she gets a call from Tony, and Tony is just like, I messed up. And I'm not going back. And she's like, what are you talking about? So apparently after he finished his job, I think he's like a housekeeper at a hotel. You know what? Let me tell you something. No shade to anybody who has, been to prison and turned their lives around for the better. But can I just say, when I found out, when Angela said that Tony was like a housekeeper, I was like, oh, hell no. You have to let me know that the room that I paid for, the person that will be coming into my room to clean it with all of my possessions, is a meth addict who just got out of prison. You see what I'm saying? Like, you gotta let people know that. You have to let people know that. I was just thinking about all the times I didn't let people come into my room thinking that everything is legit, everything is cool. I know Tony's probably in there robbing them people because apparently he did not return back to the halfway house. So he was saying, oh, I was going, but I was getting there late. No, I think what happened was Tony probably was doing his little housekeeping job, went into somebody's room who had some stuff, decided to steal that stuff, go pawn it, and get high. And he knew he couldn't go back to that halfway house because when you are somebody who has done drugs or has been locked up for drugs, they randomly drug test you. So he don't know if when he got back, they would have been checking to see if he was high, because there's normally people who have dealt with that who can see that the person is high or is not right, and they're going back to prison. So either way, if Tony went back and he was high, he would have been back to prison. If Tony went back late, he would have went back to prison. So his thing is, I'm just going to be on the run and I'm not going back. Angela, who knows Tony a bit, was just like, Tony, what is it? Is it drugs? Because something is going on with you. And it's just like, Angela, it's drugs. Cut your losses on this dude. He's not well. Not only is Tony not well, he don't want to get clean. Because this is the thing about addicts. They have to want to do it, guys. They won't do it for their family. They won't do it for their spouse. They won't do it for money. They will do it because they are ready. And they are getting the help needed to deal with the issue that sent them running to the drugs in the first place. Because you just don't try crack or meth because you want to try it. Especially not at Tony's age. Isn't Tony like in his late 30s? He grew up with Dare. So we all, if you were like in your 30s to late 30s, even 20s, even 20s, late 20s, like we've all grown up with seeing the effects that crack and the meth epidemic has had in our communities. If you were born in the 80s or 90s, you have grown up with that, you have seen that. So you just don't run to that, right? Unless something is going on with you. So there's something going on with Tony. He's not getting the help. Angela just needs to cut her losses. I think because she has put so much money and time into this man. And I'm just being real, to Angela, a guy like Tony is like, you know, a David Beckham. So she doesn't want to let that go because she got this younger guy who is attractive to her. Not saying that he's not attractive, but you know, beauty is in the eye of the beholder. So she doesn't want to let that go. But you know what, Angela? You need to take that wedding dress and you need to go to the trailer park of that your best friend who looked like Jerry Springer. You need to make it work with him because he loves you and he's not a felon. And it doesn't seem like he's on meth. That's where you need to go, sis. That's what you need to work with. You have to know what is available to you. And Trailer Park Jerry Springer is available to you, ma. Leave Tony alone. He has a problem, and right now, he don't want to fix it. Because this fool is going to go on the run. He probably would have went back to prison and did a couple weeks, if that much. Now he's on the run. They're going to lock him up for years. He's a liability. Girl, cut your losses. Cut your losses. Trailer Park Jerry Springer. That's the man for you. Lizzie and Daniel. Guys, Lizzie is the problem. It ain't Daniel. Lizzie is the problem. At this dinner, everybody is being cordial, but Lizzie, she has a bad attitude. A really bad attitude because Daniel's mom, even though they have issues, you know how if you got issues with somebody, you'll be cordial with them, especially in front of like their parent or their coworker. Like you'll be respectful. Lizzie isn't being respectful. Yes, there's issues with Lizzie and Daniel's mom, but Lizzie is like kicking up dirt, making issues where there isn't one. And you can see that Daniel's mom is trying to have a conversation with her, trying to like be cordial with her mother, trying to keep everything cool, calm, and collected, even though, guys, even though she's freaking out because her son has just started drinking. So she knows that when he starts drinking and when he gets with Lizzie, she loses her son. So she's doing the best to keep herself together while Lizzie is throwing shots at the woman. I'm like, how dare you? This is her son who she gave birth to, who is young and strung out on meth. She is trying her damnedest to keep her mind together, and you are taking shots at her while your mother don't even check her child. When Daniel's mom is like, so what are you guys going to do after this? Just asking a question. Lizzie's mother probably go back to my house and get drunk. Why do you have kids? You're okay with that? The last time they got drunk at at your kid's place. The house was raided and he went to jail. And your daughter got out of it because she snitched. Because guys, there ain't no way. The way that Lizzie keeps on telling this story is just like, oh, well, I didn't have anything on me and I didn't have any priors and they let me go. You were in a freaking meth den. There were drugs in the entire apartment. It was your apartment. And you didn't go to prison? Everybody else went to prison. Lizzie is a snitch. She told on them people, even her love, Daniel. That's probably what her secret is. Lizzie is a problem. I'm Team Daniel's mom. I would not want my child nowhere near that woman. She is a bad influence. She got a bad attitude. And Daniel could do so much better. But I don't think that he believes that he can because, Lizzie tipped Daniel is very attractive and she's also going to school and she has a stable job and he probably doesn't come from that and he's seeing her as this dream girl for a dude like him. But the mother sees right through it. I'm Team Daniel's mom. I am Team Daniel's mom. What do you guys think? Do you think that Lizzie is the problem or do you think that Daniel needs to take some responsibility for it too? I think that Daniel's damaged. I think he got some problems and I think that Lizzie is just like a lighter to his gasoline. She's not good for him. She is not good for him. Let's talk about these couples in the comments section below. That's it for your girl. I will see you in probably 48 hours for the next episode of Love at the Lockup. Bear with your girl. Guys, I booked a gig this week that I worked, and then I got 2 gigs coming up that I have to, I got to be off book for. So I have a lot of stuff coming up, but thankfully I am working with an editor. It's been some growing pains, the last 2 weeks because I like my editing done a certain way. So we're still trying to figure it out. Prayerfully by October, everything will be running smooth and there won't be this many breaks. But I am a freelancer. So whenever work comes in, I got to get it. But thank you guys for sticking around. Thank you guys for, checking on your girl. Thank you for hitting me up on Twitter and Instagram, always giving me the tea or just checking in on me. I love it, family. Thank you so much for stopping by. And if you like what you see here, please like, comment, subscribe, and share. And I will see you in about 48 hours for the following episode of Love at the Lockup. See you guys. Bye.